All right, welcome back. Going to do a little farm and ranch tutorial today. Just basically shop, yard, parking, and organization. Right here I'll just call all this stuff mine, just for the sake of this video. That's my bale trailer right there that we haul bales with. As you can see, we got it lined up right in what I call the south working station. I can pop out the door of that shop with my air compressor or any other tools that I want. Work on these wheel bearings, these tires, anything. Here we got the 3-point bale fork right here out of the way with absolute access to the bale fork right there with any tractor that we might need to hook up to that bale fork with a 3-point hitch for whatever minor emergency we might have to where we'd have to move bales with a 3-point bale fork right there, just like that. Obviously, that's our scrap iron collection that needs to be dealt with. Should have been dealt with 40 years ago, but there we go. All of this nice and clean. I can swing right in here with my baler or any other piece of equipment and work on it right here outside, so I don't get the shop all full of dirt while I'm cleaning equipment. At the same time, we have enough room for probably, if they're good drivers, 2 tractor trailers can pass through this roadway if they need to. At all times, I keep this open and welcome to other workers and other activities that are coming through this yard. Okay? Once again, exact same thing on the north side. I'm on the north side of the shop looking south. Right there in that space there, we can park a tractor right up against the door. Come right out and work on it outside if we needed to work on it outside. At the exact same time, leaving 100% accessibility to the entire shop door opening. Nice little stack of blocks there. Can jack up equipment and block it up on blocks if we ever had to do that. This is what I call my north side work area. This is usually where the disc bind gets parked. You've seen it in other videos. That's where the hay rake is parked, where I can get to it comfortably and replace rake teeth and check wheel bearings, stuff like that. Over here, the west end. Finally got this cleared out after decades of being blocked off by dumping and scrap iron and junk. So we got this completely open. We're gonna crack the door here. And my camera brightened up for some indoor footage. There is our beloved 4520 in the west end of the shop, backed in and all nice and dry and safe. I put a new tachometer and tachometer cable in this old beauty just a few days ago, so I now have an instrument panel that somewhat functions again. I know exactly what my engine speed is, my ground speed. I'm the one that bought the gasket for this, for what we call the smokestack. That's the exhaust muffler and pipe for the engine there. And the intake, well, they had let that come loose and it was almost falling off. I thought the smokestack was completely broken. No, it was like almost brand new condition. One little gasket and tighten up the mounting clamp to reset it. And it's a beautiful 4520. Once again, almost everything's working on it. Yeah, they all got a little bit of oil leak issues, not really serious. So we're ready to do whatever we need to do with this 4520. I did actually run the disc bind with the 4520 last year. It's not something I want to do again unless I absolutely have to. It does work okay. It's just that I literally need a 4-speed on the floor to run a rig like this. I need at least four gears that I can shift while moving at full power so that we can keep the disc bind fed at a proper speed, which I show in all of those other videos, all of my haying videos. So I wanted to get a good video of all of this parked inside the shop. You see I can comfortably walk around everything. I'll go into detail on that. So yes, I have the disc bind inside the shop, backed right up against the 4520, about midway, the dividing line of the shop. So the east half of the shop is, for the farm equipment usually. That's how I set that's right, I'll call it mine. I'll call it my K. I'm the operator of this K. Nobody else is really going to be able to actually operate it. If they think they can, they're in for a very, very rude and shocking awakening once they plug it and have no idea what to do after they plug it, All right, enough said about that. Once again, all of this space completely marked out as I carefully back all this stuff in. No problem whatsoever. I've been doing this for decades. My best operator that I ever worked for, that was like the law. You didn't even leave a tractor parked outside. Rain, snow, sun, heat, cold, didn't matter. And I learned the value of that decades ago. And I got it pounded into my head. I left his beautiful payloader sitting outside one day over by my hay piles, when I did my chores, which I was responsible for doing. And I got a good righteous chewing out for that. So, yep, I had to walk all the tractors back into the shed as soon as I finished chores. Well, then I learned the value of that. And absolutely corrected my behavior there, you see. So you'll see these old classic John Deeres that are nice and straight hoods that haven't been all smashed in and stuff like that. Nice and straight, paint relatively still good on them because they were parked inside. You'll see something like this going for like at least $20,000. And I did a video on a whole collection of this kind of stuff out in Linton, North Dakota last winter. So there you have it. Thousands and thousands of dollars earned, saved throughout the decades just by having stuff underneath a roof, inside, all that good stuff. All right. So obviously, the first thing that gets parked is the baler. This is where I park the baler all the time after I'm done baling every time. So the baler sits here ready to be unhooked, or I leave it hooked up, depending on what we're going to do. So when I need to go cut with the disc bind, boom, unhook the baler, go out, the disc bind sitting outside, go outside and get the disc bind, go out and do my cutting with that. Well, then I had all this space and I didn't need equipment getting wet, and sitting out in the sun even is not good for it. If I don't have to, I don't do it. So I had a perfect opportunity to back in here nice and tight. Easy, easy, easy. And then I got the mower, the sickle mower and the 3020 backed right in here, but I got to be careful when I do that because we got kind of a little bit of a physical handicap with this particular operator that runs this rig. So I don't want to make it difficult for him. So I had him perfectly set up to drive straight out. All he's got to do is turn the key, start the tractor, hit the hydraulic lever, raise the cutter bar. Yes, I have the cutter bar resting on this big heavy, they call it the swing tongue part of the disc bind. I have a nice hard rubber pad there, actually a polypropylene pad sitting right there. He doesn't even have to do anything that. He just raises the sickle bar, that'll drop to the ground, no big deal, drive right out. And this tractor is nice and dry this morning, and it's not all full of water and rust and stuff like that, and we're ready to check oil and get started cutting pretty soon, I think that's about it. That's all I wanted to cover here. Of course, the nice lawnmower sitting right there back in its space. And that's how you organize stuff so that you can function on a farm and ranch. And if you have people that in your operation that won't allow you to do that, well, it's just simply time to get rid of them, right? There's my workbench here. I keep that as organized as I can. Obviously, you can see all the ridiculous, inexcusable, clutter along the edges and stuff like that. Well, that's a whole nother video. We're not talking about that here. Having a good day, ready to go make hay. I'm Dead Wolf. I'm out. This kind of fun on the next one. Thanks for being there, cousins and friends.